Good morning and happy Easter, everybody. It's Guido coming at you from the left side Atlantic for a coffee talk.
Good morning to you all from the correct side of the Atlantic with a Royal Blend cup of tea at this Easter time with my grandchildren absolutely devastating the rest of the house. The noise will filter through eventually.
What did you just call yourself?
What?
Would you just call yourself?
I don't know, what did I call
T-Roll? Who's that?
Who?
Who's did?
There they are. There's my bunny rabbit glasses. There's my cup of tea and my bunny rabbit. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just frazzled.
I think you said T-Roll.
Probably, yeah.
Is that a nickname?
It could be. Cheap tea.
All right, stumbling out of the gate. Awesome. Odd dog, Gunnar Schumann. Gunner's human. I like Gunnar Schumann. Pilgrim's here, obviously, or T-Roll, and Crypto Tank 08. Happy Easter, Pilgrim.
Yeah, happy Easter to you all.
Yep.
As well.
Yep. Happy Easter, everybody. Let's see. How's your week been?
It's been good. I was just, as we were talking before, I'm sorry, I just need to
get your glasses on, because you can't see what you're doing. Yeah.
So I was just, this is not going live, is it? This is not going to go on the channel, is it? Yeah,
100%, yeah. So it's being broadcast.
So as we were talking before, I met a chap who's now joined the Tankfest WhatsApp group, who's coming along to Tankfest, and he's another donkey walloper like James Blunt, but he's Blues and Ones. He was a colonel in the Blues and Ones, and not that he walloped donkeys in real life. I'm sure he didn't. But that's
right.
What
we wouldn't want to be violent against
we're
animals.
not violent towards donkeys on this channel. So we went off for a bike ride because he's a biker as well. So there was about 4 or 5 of us went for a bit of a ride yesterday. We ended up at a place called Crazy Horse, which is I actually met the owner yesterday as well. He's a multi-millionaire. It's a big Indian motorcycle shop and Norton. He does Indies and Nortons. And he is the hippiest looking hippie you have ever seen. He was virtually barefoot with big white beard, long white hair. You know what I mean? It was like something off whatever it is. Anyway,
yeah.
Was Gandalf. He was Gandalf.
So there was food at this place, or?
There's food, there's coffee.
Oh, so they got like a cafe
and a big thing. Yeah, big cafe, and all the bikers go there and meet up, and we all look at the new bikes that are coming out. I've got to take these off. I can't see.
So you go there, you buy a bike, and then you take it home, and then on your ride, you ride back to that same place and have a scone. And you have a scone and a tea.
Yes, a scone and a cup of tea.
Okay.
And that's what we do. That's how we roll. That's how we roll.
Okay.
So so it was good to have a good old chat. We talked the golf and all that sort of good stuff. And do you know I was just trying to explain to you when you meet somebody first off, but you have an immediate connection for whatever reason it is.
Right.
And I'm putting it down to a shared history and maybe a shared experiences because he was basically went to the same theatres of war that I've been in.
Right.
So it's like it's a bit like, and I want to say this hand on heart, it's a bit like the connection we've had.
Yeah.
Because we are complete strangers other than on the internet right now.
That's true.
But we have I guess a shared connection.
Did you ever run into him?
Not in my service. He did 40 years. He was a private soldier like me when he first joined, but he got commissioned through the ranks. What did you say you call it? Private enlisted.
Ours are. See, now that brain cell just went away. Prior enlisted.
Prior enlisted, that was it.
Yep.
Well, we have the same sort of thing, but it's called late entry officer. So
yeah.
At any point in a soldier's career, he can apply to go for that, and if he's got the wherewithal and the backing, because he needs the backing of all his superiors, then you go through. So
do they send him to so we send him what we call OTS, at least for the Air Force Officer Training School.
Yeah.
Do you guys just give them the rank, or is there a school they go to?
No, they go to Sandhurst and they do what they call the fork, knife, and spoon course. Because we're all peasants, they get taught
right.
And you get taught how to use a knife and fork.
Right.
So once he can learn how to use a knife and fork, he can be commissioned. Apparently, that's how it works.
Is it a like 9 times out of 10, 7 times out of 10, or do they have to perfectly know how to use a knife and fork?
Well, no, it's got to be 100% each time because
really?
they're supposed to be gentlemen, aren't they? They got to be gentlemen.
Oh,
yeah, exactly.
I thought there would be
None of this-
some understanding from where they came from, though.
Well, you see, what gives it away is that they dribble a lot because they get to an age. You see, you're normally about 40 years old when you get Ellie. You're a one-off. I actually turned it down. They offered it me, and I went, "No, thanks. You're all right. I'm getting out." But
Pilgrim,
yeah.
Pilgrim, the red square has showed up in chat.
The Red Square. Hello, Red Square. Hello. Carry on, Red Square. Marvelous to see you, sir.
Dio blowing the house. Randall, Psychotic Daydreams. Happy Easter to you as well, my friend. And Fast Red Horses in the house. Good morning, guys. So we got Easter Sunday. I did play a bit this last week, probably the most I played in a while, and I was trying to figure out how much it was, but the site I use, tomato.gg, was being a bit silly. It was not allowing me to see, so I'm gonna try it one more time, but I guess I
think I played as like you. I think I played as much this last week as I have in a whole month, to be honest. So I did a lot of EU. I am getting so triggered so quickly. That's the problem.
Really?
I'm getting 6-10 games in, and I'm going, I hate everybody on this. This whole team is shit. That's where we start.
That's it, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a. You're pretty quickly. You hate everybody.
Yeah. I hate you all. You're all useless. You just go and drown yourselves. I'll carry the game myself.
I hate all of you. That's awesome.
Do you know what works? Do you know what works?
What
to get rid
works?
of that?
What works?
What works is you go and get your little tier 3 seal clubber, and you just ignore everybody on the map, and you drive straight to the enemy red line, and you go and kill Artie, and then you don't care if you die. That's how I get over it. I go and kill 2 Artie at tier 3, and sit there and go, "Come, bring it on, kill me now."
So it's kind of a Lord Sheen technique.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Anyway, I don't even know how much it's been. I played, but I played quite a bit yesterday. At the end of the day, I had 3 great games. I had like a 1700 experience game, like almost 5,000 damage in the Junu, the tier 6.
Yeah, it's out, man.
Yeah, dude. I'm probably gonna show that one because it was insane, and I almost did more damage than the entire rest of the team.
I can't believe that's tier 6 as well. That is amazing.
Tier 6, yeah, it was 40. I might be exaggerating. It was definitely over 4,000. Might have been.
I think
40s.
you did a stream on, was it Thursday?
Thanks, Chubby.
We platooned up, didn't we?
We did, yeah. I streamed and you came by, or was it Friday? It's Friday. Friday. Yeah, that was a decent day. We did all right. Chubby looked it up. There you go, 57, and that's the most I've done in a while.
57 battles in the past week.
Yeah.
Makes a difference to me.
Yeah, a good number of them was that Friday, and then I'd got a few in yesterday as well, so that was cool. Easter special, Wayne. And Wayne is on a watch streak. 35 stream
Just
streak.
for Wayne, I'll put my Easter bunny hat.
Wayne, that's incredible. 35 in a row.
It is, isn't it?
Wow.
But mine keeps resetting. It keeps going 3.
That's because you're not sitting at this computer like Wayne waiting for me to stream like you should be.
Yeah. He's sado. You should be wearing this, Wayne. Here.
Look, Pilgrim. Let's not get into analyzing who's the saddest netizen on this channel.
Yeah, that'll be me then.
No, all of us are in a fierce competition, and it's not something we really want to dwell on, right?
No.
Can we just?
It's not something that needs talking about.
Yeah, can we just all agree that let's call it a tie?
It's called, yeah, it is what it is.
We'll call it a tie. That's right, Wayne. Good vibes, man.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's see. Next stream should be actually tomorrow, fellas. I have tomorrow off as well, so I plan on streaming tomorrow. And we can just bring all our sadness right onto Monday.
Yeah, of course we will.
Because it is Monday.
Of course we will. It'll be the miserablest.
It will be. So expect a rage quit tomorrow.
Yeah, because it's not like everybody's off for the day and they'll be playing World of Tanks, is it?
No,
Not at all.
no. You know, I'm looking at my notes. It's called scripts. Is the word?
Is that what it's called?
Yeah, I called it scripts. Well, because I got a lot of different scripts for all my
Yeah. Don't you have
various
them for breakfast?
internet garbage. And I thought this was kind of apropos because I've left it on there for some reason. One of my notes to myself to talk about is that I took Christmas down.
But you said that. That was
I know,
weeks ago.
but I'm
Yeah.
saying is much like we never take Christmas down. I didn't even take down the
You had
note.
to.
I left the note up.
Oh, okay. Well, I think that sort of applies because the fact is it's now Easter, so you can't really have a dual celebration period. It's got to be one or the other. You can't have Christmas and Easter at the same time because I mean, even religiously or politically, that doesn't really work, does it? Well, yeah, maybe you can.
Look up there.
I can-
Au
yeah.
contraire.
Au contraire, yeah, true.
We
That
now
is
have
true. You
we
can
now
have
have
both.
we have Easter lights now.
Well, there you go. They're just the same as Christmas, but they twinkle in pastel shade.
Exactly.
Pastel pink.
Yes. Christmas lights are on. Sorry, Easter lights.
Easter lights are on,
Yeah.
pastel pink ones.
We've gone through the whole life cycle actually. So,
Yeah.
all right.
Well, you've got to get your money's worth out of them, haven't you?
Sure.
You know, you pay $10 from Costco for them, so they've got to be used, haven't they? You know, what's the point in having them if you're not going to use them?
So I finished the T-23E3, fellas.
You did.
I did.
Right,
I did.
okay.
I actually got another 100 battle challenge tank
Cool.
done, which has been a little unusual.
That's a useful turret at times, I think.
Yeah,
In the right place at the right time.
on occasion. It's an occasional bounce tank. I
Yes.
wouldn't call it.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Oh, that's interesting. So it's good. It's kind of good, but also kind of sad at the same time because I am number 2, and you can't see the number, but it's only on a 3,832 rating, which is not great. So,
That's off on the back side.
yeah. The WTR is quite crap, but because nobody plays it, actually,
Did you
Crub.
two mark it then?
I did, I think.
Yes, I thought you did.
Crabobble is kicking butt though. He's got 5,174.
It's his favourite tank of all
Yeah.
time, you know.
I did run a 60% win rate in 38 battles, so that'll work.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right. It's a small sample size, but we can give you that. you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
I mean, I've had 70% and 100%, but only with one battle, you know. Well, not 70% with one battle, but I've had 100%.
that's the one. That's where you retire it.
That's the one.
I wonder if I have any of those left. I used to carry a couple of those just for giggles because it was ridiculous. There you go. There's all kinds of
what's the,
100%s down here.
Oh, look, see, look. Diablo. He's been messing about with that premium AT, hasn't he?
Which one? Oh,
The AT-15A. He free-marked it, look, all by himself, look.
it crushed everybody else's dreams. Trying to find this thing. Where is it? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure I 2-marked it, as I recall.
What's the next one on the list then?
Well, we're in a weird place again because with Battle Pass,
Right.
for example, the Staghound here, I have my 100 points, so I don't want to play it anymore, and I'm sitting at 59 or 49.
Yeah. Yeah.
So what happens with the tier 6s is often, as Battle Pass season's going, I'll play it till I get to 100 points, then it sits. So really, Staghound's kind of next, but it's not going to end up being next. Looks like Turtle. I guess the Turtle's at 52.
Oh, well, that's interesting.
But I've got some other tanks that I did this yesterday, setting things up. I'm going to work on the Mutz Panzer 58 / whatever. Isn't there 3 of these things? I think. The T8.
Yeah, they got the Polish version, haven't they, and all that lot.
No, this is that Indian Panzer.
Oh, the Indian Panzer.
No,
Oh,
that's
yeah.
not an Indian. This is the
No?
premium. That's not an Indian. It looks like an Indian, sort of. I think there's 3 versions of this, but there's at least 2. I know that. In any event, the 832. So we're doing that. We're doing the Panzer 58. We are doing the. Oh, I got to do this here. There we go. The Ju-Nu is in the same situation as the Staghound because I have my 100 points on it.
Right.
The Juto is set up, so that will be in the mix. The T-34 G2FTABC123. And I think those are kind of the main ones right now.
Okay, well that's an interesting mix, I think.
I'm trying to do that with the 100 Battle Challenge. I try to have a TD, a light tank, a medium tank. Well, light tanks are tough because I don't have any more that aren't 100 battles, but medium, TD. Thank you very much, Pilgrim. TD.
I just got rid of them.
Yeah. Good.
They were languishing in the. I just wanted to get rid of them.
I just appreciate being the last resort.
Well, yeah, there was nowhere else to give them. So
Right. Yeah.
There's no lady streamers on there, I know, so I thought I'd just throw it your way.
And we're fresh out of hot tubs here.
We are, yes, which
Yeah.
is a good thing, I think.
BZ-176 is sort of floating around in there as well because it's just a silly tank.
Well, it is a silly tank, isn't it? And
All
you've
right.
got silly people who play it.
Oh, the lights are looking nice. I like the Easter lights.
Well, I think Easter lights are the way to go. I think you might have cornered the niche. You might have got the market there. Easter lights. Why can't you have Easter lights? If you've got Christmas lights, you can have Easter
Especially
lights.
if you just leave your Christmas lights up all year long.
Well, you see, they're now multi-use lights, aren't they? They're not Christmas or they're multi-use. A bit like multi-faith, but multi-use. Multi-use lights.
Gunner's Human, I don't know what is up with the lack of Twitch drops lately. It's a great question that I do not have an answer for.
It's a good question, isn't it?
Yeah, don't know.
They have sort of like died, haven't they? Easter egg slave bunnies. Yeah.
Yeah, it's you could certainly say without exaggeration that it has slowed down.
Yeah.
What exactly is going on? I don't know. It's a great question. Let's see. Home improvement. Did your project advance any further, or did you?
Do you know what? I've just spoke to my son, and he when I did the patio, I got extra slabs over, so I dumped a load on to him and have these. So, and he was most appreciative, of course, but he's not done anything with them. So I've had a chat with him, and I'm getting them back because I'm, Indian giver that I am.
Yeah.
Let's have this, but I want it back now. So. I gravelled the end of the yard or the garden, about a square metre and then 10 metres in width, and put planters down and everything else. And then I looked and the gravel sort of tapers off to the left. So I thought, I need more gravel, which coincidentally I'd already bought 6 bags and then had to go back and get another 12 bags. And then it was because I just never had enough. I might as well have got a ton delivered.
Right,
Anyway.
right.
Long story cut short, I'm now going to slab from the left-hand side of where the planters are all the way round the back of the shed and then back up the side to meet up with the patio. So
Right.
what turned out to be an afternoon's work is now turned out to be a week's work. So, I don't know.
So doing the math for the Americans here for meters, 10 meters is about 400 feet.
Yeah, it's about that, yeah. That's how it feels.
I painted yesterday. I paint the fence.
Did you?
I paint the fence.
Really? Now, that was an ongoing project from way back when.
I know, because I put one coat on.
Okay.
And
That'll last in Florida then?
well, and of course, when you do one coat of white paint on older wood, it's a little blotchy because it doesn't really completely cover. And I never got around to it. So what happened was the side fence over here, the neighbor, I did both sides, so the neighbors would have a white fence on their side too, so it wouldn't look, cheesy.
Well, you're a nice chap, aren't you? Can you
And,
come and be my neighbour?
Well, I mean, I put the fence up, so I might as well paint both
Oh,
sides.
okay. Fair enough. Yeah.
Plus, some of it runs on the other side, so it looked really crap. Anyway, there's some bushes, so I painted up. It was a thick bushes. I painted up there, and I didn't want to go tunneling through bushes, so I left it. You couldn't see it anyway because the bushes. Well, he cut the bushes all off. So it was white fence and then stopped and then wood. I'm like, all right, well, that's my opportunity to get in there and do that. And I can chuck the second coat. But that's only one side. I have a longer run on the other side that I got to go do. But it looks way better now with 2 coats.
Well, I can imagine it would do. And is that the fence that is on your neighbours, not the one that separates? You've got that
Separates the properties.
separates the property, but there's
In the
no
front.
gap
Yeah, there's
between the two.
there's a decorative fence in the front on either side.
Yeah, got you.
Painted white because the wife wanted it to be white. It was a wood fence that I built with.
Cool.
I would call it semi-fancy, but not too
So,
fancy.
so your windows, you've done all your window painting then, because you did do some work on the windows, didn't you?
I did that a couple of years ago, but
You did?
as I was walking by it, cleaning up with my can of paint, I looked at them like, and I started touching up parts, and then I went, "This is a whole nother day," and just kept going.
Yeah. See, one job leads to another.
Yeah.
This is my point about doing stuff. When you do stuff around the house, it becomes the doing stuff day, doesn't it?
Well,
Forever.
it did, because here's so the neighbor came out and he's like, "Yeah, I need to cut that tree," and I didn't notice it, but there was a trash tree coming up from the fence, and it had bowed out one of the planks.
Right.
And I didn't immediately notice, and he pointed it out. I'm like, "Oh shit," because I'd have noticed as soon as I started painting. He goes, "I gotta cut that out. I need to go get a chainsaw." I'm like, "Well, I got a chainsaw. I'll just go grab it and start that." He's like, "No problem." He had to go. He wasn't able to help me, but I go back there. So then what? It's 30 minutes digging out the chainsaw,
Yeah.
checking the fluids, putting in the bar oil, messing around with it, tightening up the chain, starting it a couple times till it gets warmed up. Get out there, cut that guy off, do a little bit more, cut another branch nearby, right? Because you see another one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's
You got your chain.
it's
You're like,
not just.
zzz, you're like, "Ooh, that one." Zzz.
Yeah,
You're like, and
yeah.
then you start looking. You're like, zzz. and then what comes to mind after that is the other side of the yard. There's a couple things I've been meaning to cut for months.
And now you've got the chainsaw in your hand.
Dude, an hour later, I'm chainsawing stuff, and I went out to paint the frickin' fence, man.
And even worse, to cap it all, you had your neighbour out doing stuff as well.
Yeah,
So you now got the street doing it.
I got a pile of branches and stuff that I cut yesterday, going out to paint.
Yeah, that is crazy, isn't it? All right, that's bonfire stuff, but you know what I mean. That is crazy, isn't it? Country fences, Terry. Get barbed wire. Who needs to paint barbed wire?
Yeah, that would be frowned upon, I think, in town. I guess
Yeah,
you could
wouldn't
do
be a
it.
White picket fence. Yeah,
You could do it, but that would be frowned upon.
yeah.
All right, so yeah, 100 Battle Challenge stuff. That's my home improvement stuff. I still have to do the other side. Maybe 2025, 2026, something like that.
Yeah, let's keep it long. Let's keep it.
Yeah.
Let's keep the
It's
longevity going.
let's not get crazy about it.
No.
We got
Push anything, do you?
Easter lights are going. Next stream is Tamale, and I think that's it for channel news, fellas.
Wow.
Still doing
Okay.
some DCS and stuff around the edges. I've had a couple videos I've been meaning to make on it, but they're just
Are you
haven't
still
got around
doing
to it.
you're still doing the RPGs and stuff like that?
What was I just doing recently? I guess I haven't touched that for a while. I was doing Mountain Blade, but it just got
Yeah.
as that game usually does. Just became more of the same, so I sort of stopped doing that again.
Yeah, that's the problem. The thing is, with it, I mean, if you go way back when to Zelda, if you want to go that far back, once you've got through and it's very formalized. Way back then, there was no other way of getting around the place and doing stuff. You had to do the right things. Once you get over all that, it's like same old, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very difficult for that type of game to have the freedom to put in scenarios that are unexpected or new, or all these type of games. They have an end result. You've got to get to the boss, if you like, and deal with that situation. And how you get there, there's only a limited number of ways you can do that.
I keep meaning to go
So-
back to Baldur's Gate 3, but that's another one I haven't been able to sort of get back into.
That's
'cause
a little bit more open world, isn't it, Baldur's Gate? A little bit more.
That's a huge discussion, because yes and no. It's a pretty big world, but it is a game that's relatively on rails in terms of, because it has the big backstory,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's not like you can just run around and do whatever you want. I mean, you can to some extent. You can ignore the main quest for a large part, but you can't get to the next section without doing a few things that are related to the main quest. And it's the whole thing is you are caught up in this big mind flayer control thing.
Yeah.
And you can't get away from it. That's the central theme of the whole game. So it's just kind of
Yeah, that's one of the I wouldn't say downfalls, but it's one of the problems of games of that type is how to maintain interest.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? And how to keep the player base playing.
I mean, I think
Pretty linear, isn't it?
I think Skyrim does a pretty good job with that. Skyrim was a hugely open, especially the last one. They've all kind of been this way. That there is a background. The newer ones have a more specific background thing going on, but you can truly ignore that almost completely in Skyrim and just wander around the big world and do a lot of stuff that has virtually nothing to do with the main quest, if you will. So I think they kind of got it a bit figured out. They do,
right, yeah.
Yeah, they do a pretty good job with that. Which brings me to another game. I was looking around on Steam just for. I was thinking I'd do like small games, like weird ones that just for giggles, do a video every now and again.
Yeah.
And that's still formulating my brain. But the first thing I found that was interesting was a game that came out in 20. I call it a game. It's not really a game, but it came out in 2019. It's called Air Car, and it's VR.
Okay.
And it's more of a demo that this guy made, and it's pretty cool because it's in VR, and you fly this air car around this like futuristic city. You know, and it's kind of raining and drizzly. It's a lot like got like a Blade Runner aesthetic.
Oh,
you know?
Okay. Yeah.
And it's easy to control. You use I can use the hand controller, so you drive around with these things. And
okay.
That's it. That's all you do. There's a couple things you can land on, and you get like a turbo boost, so you can go faster, and you can refuel. And other than that, that's like the whole thing.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
The map's not terribly huge. You can fly away and just sort of get nothingness.
Yeah.
So it was more of a demo than anything, but at the same time, it was kind of cool. I don't think it's something you'd want to spend 100 hours on, obviously. But it's just
no, because you'd be bored quite.
Yeah, you get bored pretty quickly. But I thought it was really for a few moments pretty cool.
Yeah, I like that whole idea. I think I love the open world map games anyway. So I like the idea that you would have that sort of simulation on VR because you get a more immersive effect with VR anyway. So because you haven't got all the rest of the paraphernalia around you. So I guess, if you could then perhaps build into that particular type of game missions or adventures that you can have. That would be cool. That would be really cool for a VR game. But
so I'm glad you said that because that's why I brought it up. So we were talking about games that have a storyline that you're kind of on rails. Then you've got the open world.
Yeah.
You would have a purely open world. So you've got the game where the quest is the quest. That's all there is. Then you've got the open world but the open world ones can feel quite empty. In a game like Air Car, you could build in scenarios and stuff, but at the same time, it's kind of cool to just be able to drive around, just fly around the city and not worry about stuff. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
So I had the same thought as you. I'm like, oh, this would be cool if there were a couple things, maybe some things to shoot or whatever. And I'm like, I don't know, would it? That's a great question.
Well, here's the thing. There's a DayZ server which is called Pre-Survivor. Yeah, Pre-Survivor. And it's set in 1999 before the apocalypse, before there was zombies. So it's a real world, open world map. There's no requirement to gear yourself up and shoot everybody. It's very much an RP type game. But it's the only server I've found on DayZ that does this. So there's been a lot of work. There's a couple of Norwegian guys, I think that built this. So there's a lot of work to make all the wrecked buildings and all the sort of apocalyptic look normal. So they've rebuilt all the skyscrapers, everything.
Wow.
And basically, you had a lot of work because it's a big map churners. And what you do is you join. I mean, at the moment, they've only got a server population of 37 maximum, so it's quite hard to get on. Because everybody gets on it, and you've got no chance, and they need a couple of slots for the admins. So, but you go in there, and basically you get a job, you earn money to buy your car or your bike. It's a bit of like Sims, if you like, but in DayZ. And you can apply to be a policeman, and you can go around arresting people who commit crimes because you can rob banks. You can rob banks and all sorts. You've got to have specific weapons to be able to rob a bank. So you've got to make your money first, then you get a golden eagle pistol. Then you can go rob a bank, and then the police will chase you all over the map. And then You know, you've got to role play. You can't just like mug everybody off. You've got to go, okay, hands up. You've caught me, copper, and you get handcuffed and taken to prison and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, it's all role play. It's quite funny.
So is the idea that at some point the zombie thing will start?
I've got a feeling that's where it's going to go because it's got a limited life like that, hasn't it? You know, I mean, who wants to go to work in a game, get a job?
Yeah.
My job was apple collecting from the auction, which is about the most anal, boring job in the world. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, I can't do this. And you end up $70 for collecting a whole basket full of apples. I mean, that's, you know. But you can buy your house. You can buy a house. You can get a car. You have to obviously earn enough money to do all this. And where it's apocalyptic on DayZ, so all the factories are burnt out.
Right.
They're all working. There's smoke coming out the chimney stacks and everything. And the trains work. You can get on a train and all sorts. It is really cool. These guys have put a lot of work into it, and I do feel
That's wild.
that it will bleed into the apocalypse. And that would be absolutely awesome to be there.
Yeah.
It kicks off, you know.
That's
So,
wild.
yeah.
Okay, that's wild. All right, shall we shill?
Well, I think we need to.
All right, let's do it.
Let's
do it.
You need it. Chill in.
What do we got going on, fellas? We got stuff for sale. We always have stuff for sale in World of Tanks, don't we?
I think so. Every day's a sale day.
Oh man, what do we got? The boys are back again. Somebody asked the question on stream on whether I thought something would be for sale again, and I don't remember which tie-in it was, but they've sold this thing half dozen times at least, I think. So my answer to most of those questions is eventually they're going to sell it again.
Yeah.
Also, somebody asked a question about the 56 TP. I don't know if it was one of you guys, but I was incorrect. I was thinking it was the Skoda T56, but these are two different tanks. This one is Polish, and the Skoda
It's Czech, isn't it?
is
Yeah.
Czech. And they look similar, but they're not. This is a cyclical single shot, and it's nowhere near as good as the Skoda T56 is. But it's for sale. $44. Then the T22, the 120, not the T22, 122 TM.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I've seen a couple of those in battle quite recently. Quite a few people must have spent the $30, $40, whatever it is, going for.
I'm curious why this is here now and why it didn't show up. Did it show up for the Chinese New Year? I don't remember.
I don't remember being there. No.
But it's got all the
skin, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's got all the
skin.
Chinese New Year stuff going on there. The Ram 2. And some other cats and dogs. Not much going on there, fellas.
Not a lot.
I guess Battle
Oh,
Pass, right?
sure.
Battle Pass is the big thing, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
Come over here. I did buy the $10 or $20 Battle Pass thing for the extra.
You did?
Yeah.
See, I haven't done that. I haven't done that on either account. For some reason, it's just bypassed me. So maybe I need to do that.
I think it's worth it. Is it $10 or is it 20? I don't remember.
It's not expensive.
I think
No,
it's
not
10. I
expensive.
think it's only 10.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it is. Because it gives you a nice little boost if you're thinking about finishing Battle Pass at all. So I'm already on the second chapter or whatever it is. Or second, I don't know what they call
You're
it.
on the second chapter. I'm just finishing the first
Yeah.
chapter on both accounts now, on the NA and EU. So
Yeah, so I'm now doing Heroes in a Half Shell. Or is this whole stage? Stupid. Can't keep track of this.
that's,
Down
yeah, exactly. That's what you.
This is the whole thing's a chapter. Season 13. Stage 2. That's where I am. And I think I bought my bounty piece of equipment already.
Nice.
Make sure you guys do that. Yep, I bought that. So I think your first three tokens should be used buying a piece of bounty equipment. And then you can start building up your tokens for the tanks that are out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where I am with that. Remember that you can get books, and probably you want to be prioritizing Polish books. Although your time is getting short because the Polish TDs will be out on the 8th or 9th. I think it's
April. Oh, okay. All right.
the
Yeah,
9th.
of course it will.
Right now it's scheduled for the 9th, fellas. So Polish TDs with the Star Shell thing on April 9th. So you probably want to be prioritizing Polish books if you're going to build a crew for that. What
See,
else?
I'm at two minds about that because crew-wise, I would probably just remove crews from another tank and just retrain them, to be honest, rather than and then use the books and then. This is because of an abundance of gold, obviously. But yeah, I would prefer to retrain an existing crew and then, if need be, train them back to do whatever tank they came out of. To be honest.
Well, remember though, it's Polish and they don't have any TDs yet.
No, that's what I mean. So I'd retrain them from heavy tanks to TDs. I mean, what is it, 500 gold or something to retrain?
Right. I get. Yeah. Guess you could do that. Yep.
And then that crew can then, because if you've got 3 or 4 Polish heavy tank crews, you might as well use one of them from a tank that you don't use a lot. So if you've got a lower tier Polish crew sitting in lower tiers, you've already got training against that crew. Put that just
Sure.
It's gold dependent, isn't it? It's gold dependent. Yeah.
Well, the other so there is something else tied into that though, because the 1.24.1 release is going to have the thing with the crews where you can turn them into crew books. Yes. And the thing I caught on the video that was said by Commander AF, what she said was there'll be a button to convert them. So that didn't sound like it was automatic to me.
No, it sounds like you've got to do it.
Yeah, so I don't know if anybody else caught that or if maybe I misheard what she was saying. It looks like maybe it's manual in some way as opposed to just being done. Don't quote me necessarily, but that's what it sounded like to me anyway. Button.
Chubby Panda says button
there
time
you go.
limited.
There you go.
So you'll have an opportunity.
So the other thing that's going on is the excellent. All right, this thing, I'm confused by this, fellas. Does anybody know what the second mission was supposed to be? Because I got the first one done, and then nothing else happened. And if I go to the website, it was the cracked egg one. Remember we were talking about that, Pilgrim?
Yeah, I think that's been part of the treasure trove thing being withdrawn, hasn't it? What was?
No, I think the eggs thing is its own thing.
Is it? It's not part of the treasure trove thing. Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if we go here, well, look at this. Yeah. Well, secret missions, but there's an. So the first one was earn at least 1,500 points base over any number. That was pretty easy. This one says crack less than a dozen, but more than a handful of your adversaries.
Yeah. What does that mean? Destroy them? Kills?
But I had huge games, and it didn't happen for me.
Yeah, Chubby's saying didn't get it for 5 kills, and somebody on Discord didn't get it after 6. Pens. Terry Mike thinks it's pens.
Has anyone done it?
Don't know. Oh, Bandu said he got a decker without even seeing the second mission. That's how I play. I'm like, oh well, what did they get those for?
Like, I don't know what that was, man. No. I mean, I had that game. I don't know how many pens I had. Let me get that. 1,700 experience game, and I didn't get anything out of that.
Is it? It's not tank specific or tier specific, is it?
I have no idea what it is. That's my point. Because I haven't been able to do it.
Information.
That's right. Let's see here. This one I had 24 shots fired, 22 hits, 21 penetrations. So
that should have cleared.
I'm thinking it's not penetrations.
Oh, yeah, quite possibly.
I had 4 kills, so I didn't do anything more than 4 kills. Maybe it's.
Well, no, because the guys are saying 5 and 6 kills didn't trigger it either.
I don't think I have a shares account anymore, Gunnar Schumann. You know what? That's funny. I ought to try to log into that. I think they took those away a while ago. That was a whole discussion before I stopped being on the Discord. I was going to say stop being a CC. I'm definitely not a CC, but I don't really know what my status is. But anyway, they were definitely wanting to take away the sheriff's thing because the EU guys didn't have it. Part of the this is all part of the reorganization that I think has just been a freaking disaster, in my opinion. This was a topic for later on, but we had no idea how good we had it with the NA community management team.
Yeah, that
They were
small
heading.
team.
Yeah,
Everybody knew each other. I think it worked well, but unfortunately, that doesn't cross over, did it?
head and shoulders above this current situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was my understanding. I haven't tried to log into it for a long time, but last I knew, Wayne, is they had basically canceled all of them. So I don't know, guys. Did somebody say they got the second one?
Yeah, I think where is it? The mission section. It states one missions on the right. Dicardi says, didn't get post battle results, but got a notification. I think.
My only assumption here is that this was critical hits or some stupid thing like that.
But it doesn't say that though, does it?
Well, none of them do. These are all just hints. So
Right.
this one shows me because I finished it, or maybe the first one always showed it. I don't know. Maybe that was just, hey, whatever. But yeah. Oh, wait a minute. I had some of these decals. I must have.
did you?
I must have
Right.
done that one.
Yeah, I mean, with that battle count you had on the left. Well, there you go.
All right. So see. This is ridiculous. See the decals on the red one.
Yeah.
First of all, that decal you can sell. By the way, the rabbit one you can sell.
Oh yes, I've just seen that.
'Cause I sold
here
it-
we go.
I sold it
Selling
this morning.
Now.
Because I sold it this
Selling
morning.
it now. Yeah.
I did have a new set of these egg ones that you can't sell. So I may have done this thing. Am I logged in? Yes. So I may have done this thing, but it doesn't show here. If you go back to it doesn't show anything here. It only says 1 of 1. So honestly, fellas, I don't know what in the actual frick is going on with this. It's like what? I don't even know what to say. It makes no sense.
No.
Oh man. So happy Easter. I don't remember if I got more of these, and I might have also had this because this is a style.
Yeah.
And I wish I had not gone through all of them earlier today because I cleared all that out. You want to get rid of the little red numbers because you can't have those. Your OCD says I can't have those
Yes,
things.
OCD kicks
Yeah.
in. Yes.
So it's possible I finished all these, even though this thing right here just says 1 of 1.
1 of 1.
Oh wait, this thing right here just says unreal. Who knows, dudes? I don't know. I'd love to be able to tell you how it worked, but
It's a mystery. It's an Easter egg mystery, isn't it? Easter Bunny mystery.
yep.
Because on both of my accounts, it's showing completed.
1 of 1 though, right?
1 of 1. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what it says. 1 of
Even
1.
though there's 4 missions.
Yeah. So I have no idea. I have really no idea. Dear. Yeah, Easter symbol decals, which
Yeah.
have just sold all of them. Yeah, don't know.
Now,
There you go.
this is great, dude. So someone mentioned it up there. There, Wayne. Due to technical difficulties, we are suspending the treasure trove event.
Yes.
That is an event I know nothing about. It didn't even start, right? They didn't even.
No.
Well, actually, they did advertise it because there was a link somewhere I saw, but it goes to it's dead. It's a dead link.
Yes. Yeah, it goes to that 404 thing.
Actually,
Oh, look at Wayne.
and it's a mystery wrapped in an enigma. I got you. Where I saw it was, I think it's on the Watt Monthly. It's in Lancer's Showdown. Oh, where did I see that thing? There was an article on it. Treasure Trove update. There it is. No, that's not it. There was an article somewhere, and I laughed because it said it had keys involved.
Did it really?
Yes, it had. Yeah, you were gonna unlock keys.
Yes.
The treasure
Yes,
trove.
They're back. They're back.
By the way, Wargaming, I still have my 5 keys that I got
I've
nothing
still got
for.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got them. They're sat in that cupboard there on the bottom
Yeah.
drawer. Just in there. Just waiting to be used.
The event where you collected 5 keys, you got something for 3 and nothing for 5.
Yeah. Not even a nice little garage that they promised us. Oh dear. Oh dear. Maybe they're going to bring back. Maybe they're going to introduce, not bring back, introduce a special holiday where they do black market with a new garage, with keys and loot boxes, and call it the compilation effort of wargaming or something. So I'm saving my keys.
You know what?
In case.
They almost never get the boxes wrong.
No, they don't, do they? Because probably that makes them money. So that's probably why.
All right, this month what we got going on, we've got Top of the Tree is going to switch to the BZ-75 and the Swedish tank destroyer. I'm really surprised the BZ-75 came so soon, actually. But
there you go.
Yeah. Update 124.1 on the 8th, 9th for us, actually. Onslaught is back, the Jade Pegasus. Their birthday is April 15th. That's the Watt birthday.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some missions, discounts. That would probably be a good deal for things like crew discounts and maybe equipment and stuff like that.
Yeah, they might do the free XP thing and all that.
Yeah, there's another EBR race coming up with the CCs. We have there's also going to be some missions for the Polish TDs about a week and a half after the release of them. So some things on the 19th. And then Clan Showdown, and that's pretty much everything that's on here. Not a whole lot else. But I think 124.1 is going to be kind of interesting, I think.
Yeah.
With the crew deal. Another piece of the crew rebalance, but nothing to do with any of the skill stuff. Which I don't, now that I think about it, what is the point?
Well, yeah.
So wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah. Sorry, I did think about this morning because I was going through doing the crews, and all my premiums don't have crews, which is the right way to do it. You use one of your tech tree crews, throw it in there, and it gains credits and experience for that crew. And I was going through them all, and I was going, when you want to pick a crew for your premium, invariably you want to pick the best crew member that you have with the highest number of skill points. So they're not all in one tank. So a commander might come from one tank, and the loader comes from another tank, and so on. So you've got like your 6 skill crews all together, but they're in the premium and the premium works because it's a heavy or a medium or whatever it is.
Right.
And I'm thinking, this is a right faff, because at the end of the battle or the end of the session, you've used that premium tank. You want to put all those crews back. You're then going to go all the way back and sort all that out. But it's such a faff. And do you know what? I started to think, wouldn't it be nice if it was just a commander with all the skills? So you wouldn't have to bother with the rest.
I don't think I've ever mixed and matched.
Oh, I do. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
is that what you're doing when I wait for 15 minutes for you to ready up the tank?
I've got like 6 skilled crews sat in different tanks, so I might, because they're not all leveled up at the same time, because you use books and stuff like that, don't you? So some of my commanders have got 6-7 skills. Some of my gunners have got 6 skills, but they're not in the same tank. So I have to go and find them and get them into the premium. And it's such a faff to put them all back again, because then you've got to go remember which tanks they come out of. I know it says somewhere on the screen.
I gave up on that level of fidelity on futzing with crews years ago. Years ago.
I want to do that.
I have multiple crews that are trained for the premium they're in. They're not even trained for a tech tree tank. Multiples.
There you go. There you go. Who cares?
And if I do move a crew out of a tech tree, I just bring the whole thing over, provided you can. Sometimes slots don't allow that, but
Yeah.
the guy that doesn't fit will just stay in the tank, and then I'll send it back to the premium
Well,
tank.
that's the point, though, because you always have that situation. Well, not always, but you get that situation where the commander carries the signaler skills as well. So, especially when you've got a small crew like the Manticore or something like that.
So what the guys are saying, you do know about the return crew button, right?
Yeah, I sort of do. Yeah, I know it does something, but I was never really sure. But you have to remember.
All right. For example,
We
no,
have to
you
remember
don't.
Which tank? Pardon?
Well, sort of. I mean, so my CS59, I was actually just looking at this a second ago. This crew right here is my CS59 crew. It happens to be right now in my premium CS52 LS. If I want them back, I'm going to click on the CS59, the tank they belong to. I'm going to click on this, and well, you can't see it because of you, but yeah, you can. It's right below here. This one right here says return crew to vehicle. Click return, and it will move that crew back to the vehicle.
Yeah, but it only works for the whole crew, doesn't it?
Now, see,
If
here's
I've taken the commander out of the CS69 or 59, I've taken a gunner out of another, what are they, it's Polish, whatever, another tank, and a loader from another tank. You have to remember which tanks you took them out of to put them back.
You do.
I know when
You do, and when you hit
Yeah.
return to crew, it'll only move that one guy.
Yeah, I
But-
get that. I
but
understand that. But
At
still,
least
still
you don't have to
that.
drag them into the barracks and then drag them on the thing. This is actually kind of a funny thing that just happened here. This is a CS59 crew, but when I did this, it ended up being my CS44 crew.
Yeah.
So I've clearly moved these crews around. I wonder if I can even do this. Can I return those guys, or am I really getting a PIO now? No. Okay, that's good. So it looks like I switched my CS52 crew to my CS59, but for some reason have never played them in the CS59 yet. Anyway, there you go.
Oh, that's all right then. That's fine.
Oh, this is difficult.
Yeah. Yeah, just give me a commander with all the skills. I can't be bothered with the rest of them now. I don't even like him anymore.
So going back to the crew thing, as I'm looking at the video here, let's see what she says here, because this is...
A new feature has been added to the game that finally answers that age-old question, how the heck did my tank just get destroyed?
Oh yeah, that's kill cam or whatever is going to show that. What I don't know about have any of you guys done the test, test server or whatever? Is this something that happens right after you die, or can you go look at it in game? So I don't know if this is a
Last
battle
moment,
hits
which
necessarily,
recreates the
or
shot that destroyed your tank, allowing you to analyze the enemy tank's position, the ammunition used, the shell trajectory, and exactly where your armor was penetrated. With the introduction of this...
it's post-mortem. Okay, so it's
Okay.
yeah. So it's not something you do in the garage afterwards. It's immediately after you can look at that. Okay. After you do.
I love the way that Pig has quantified that.
That was my next question, because sometimes after I die, I want to hurry up and go help somebody or do something, and now I'm gonna have to go through that whole rigmarole.
I guess you could switch it off.
I guess so.
I guess
Yeah.
that'd be an off thing, wouldn't it?
Anyway, I think that'll be pretty cool. Now here's the
This new
crew
feature,
thing.
you'll gain invaluable insight to help you adjust and improve your positioning and gameplay skills as you enter future battles.
See what she says about the crew now.
Crew updates are also on the way in Update 1.24.1 to make your interaction with the crew system more straightforward and a little easier to understand. All crews will be upgraded to 100% by default. In the
Okay, that makes sense. That was announced. They're not going to do any of the 80% thing. Okay, fair enough.
barracks, you'll find a new button that lets you remove all tankers with less than 100% XP for their first perk, and you'll also receive
Less than 100% XP for their first perk. That doesn't have anything to do with the major qualification 100% thing. Why is that even a thing?
I've no idea. That doesn't seem to make any sense at all.
Why? I don't understand that. What? I mean, if you got a guy who's 50% on Brothers in Arms, why would I want to remove him? Now, the original reason, my understanding, was they were going to do that kind of combined crew thing.
Yes.
So
Which
that
was the original.
maybe made sense to do this part of it. But now, with the way it's set up, what's the point? I mean, I guess you could go in and clean out your barracks if you had some guys sitting around that you didn't need, but I don't understand what that has to do with the current crew rebalance.
Compensation for their experience in crew books. Keep an eye on the portal for future updates about changes to the crew system.
Okay, so maybe that's it. Maybe it's again setting up for the next thing, but it doesn't make any immediate sense to me that why you would want to do that.
I think they're still on this bandwagon of creating a World of Warships type crew scenario where you've got a commander that carries all the sort of, even though you've got a crew, but it basically carries all the skill set. I think they're still pushing that.
It's weird though how kind of just slow and disjointed it's been. I mean, it's not weird, but at the same time, it's weird.
Yeah.
I guess I could say it's weird, but I'm not surprised. That would be a better way to maybe put it.
Yeah. It'll be the normal fudge that Wargaming do to get stuff through that they know the player base isn't 100% on side with.
All right, we've been at it for an hour. We're going to take a 5-minute break. I'm going to refresh my coffee, and we'll be right back.
Cool.
Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Now in the shadows came a mysterious chap who spoke in a tongue with a strange dialect. He offered his help to the mighty Guido to bring some laughter to his love of speedos. To the coffee talk they both came, to bring the message of winning ways to all and sundry and the masses. Yes, that's right, lads and lasses. The damage counts and flexing back will keep you on the right track. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. So in what, if you want to progress, then seek out Guido nonetheless. With his sidekick Pilgrim, he has a message that to win you must be aggressive. The position and place that you must seek, for the winners only, not the weak. The guru speaks, so listen well. His voice rings out like the Liberty Bell to bring you all to Unicom land, or to die hard trying in the sand. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. Guido is his name, tanking is his game. Guido. To the swamplands came the mountain man.
All right, we are back. Let's see. What did Pig say? At least hit escape. Okay. You only get crew books for the perk experience, nothing for the basic 100%. Oh, okay. Again, though, I don't understand why we're trying to clear out guys that are 100% on their basic qual, but less than 100 on their first perk. Those are guys you might be working on. I'm not tracking. I don't know. And there, of course, there's no explanation for that, is there? There's no here's why this is important for the future, or why you might want to do this, or why you might not want to do this. There's nothing like that. These guys. What else we got going on, man? Oh, dog's irritated by something. All right, subjects du jour. Caro 45T, man.
Yes.
That's really interesting. You can get that for Tour of Duty. Did you see that?
No, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Show me, show me, show me. Why did I miss that? Free for everybody, I think, says Chubby Panda.
So here's the hold on. My brain will start working here in a minute. Before we get to that, here's the come on. I hate it when this stuff stops working for me. There we go. There we go. This was on Armored Patrol. This is back to the Treasure Trove event for just a second. Want to know what's hidden in the vault? Complete tasks. Get access keys and open the vault.
I've got 5 already. I've got them. I've got them.
Dude. Where's the car? Oh, there's a question and answer. That's where I got this. We'll get to that in a minute. There's a Watt EU question and answer I want to cover, which I thought was pretty funny. Did you see this though? Ex Wargaming employee, community manager from a Czech community manager, getting boosted in the Maneuvers Clan Wars event, and the CC doing it did it on stream and got busted.
Wow, I mean, how stupid can you be? You just can't legislate for stupidity, can you?
What?
Wow.
Unreal. And so XP Ploder, who I've heard of, was kicked from the CC program. According to this is all according to this article, by the way, to take that for what it's worth. But that was confirmed by SSS Tix, whoever that is. Yeah, banned. What on earth, dude? How much of that went on? I guess a lot. Probably a lot. Not very much of it was streamed, though.
No. You've got to say, though, that if you're... and this is... it's not a good way to be generic about anything, but if you're going to be a cheater, then you're possibly not 100% up top. Because what on earth would make you think, as a cheater, you could stream it, be a CC, and nothing would ever happen about that? You know what I mean? So, I'm not saying all cheaters are a little bit short of a few brain cells, but my word, you've got to be something else to do that, haven't you?
I mean, with the amount of people that change clans right before these events, I have no doubt that there's still people who are paying these guys to to get their tank in these Clan Wars events. You know.
Oh yeah.
So they'll just send them the account information, and then that person, and obviously they don't advertise this, but they'll put the clan tags on the account that they're boosting, and they'll just play that account for whatever it takes to get the amount of fame required to get the tank.
Yes. I mean, why? It's just a It's a pixel. It's not even real. Why put that much effort in?
I know, it's wild.
Yeah,
it's
arsehole.
It's wild. It's wild. I mean, on the one hand, I guess I don't really care, to be honest. It's okay. Honestly, if you want to spend money to do that, be my guest.
Yeah, your money.
Yeah.
Saves me having to supplement wargaming. You're doing it for me. Thank you.
Yep. So I thought that was wild. Treasure trove, man. That cracks me up. Let's get to this wargaming question and answer. Oh, I did want to talk about the Carl 45T for the Tour of Duty. Somebody mentioned there. So I haven't been able to break down how difficult that's going to be. It sounds like you're going to have to do quite a few missions platooned.
Okay.
With your clan. So platoons and clans are going to help do that. But I don't know. I've never paid close attention. Where's the clan one? To what even happens with the tour of duty. Is there even a place to look at it here? Tasks? Is it tasks? It must be tasks. There it is. So it's going to be something to do with this stuff, I guess. Win 6 battles platoon. Fight a battle in an advance. Okay. 500 plus days solo, 74 to 90 in platoon. Okay. So there are, these things just happen as we go, and I've never paid close attention to them, but I think our clan usually does pretty well. We don't have a lot of organized clan stuff going on, but we have a lot of clan members that play a lot. So it seems to me like we burned through these pretty quickly, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly, Pig. There are some decent, you get booklets and stuff, so there are some occasionally decent things that come along with it, but it's not crazy good stuff. There's a lot of decals and styles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I guess this is being revamped, and then Chubby Panda's got some numbers for you right there: 74 to 90 in a platoon, 500 plus days solo. So it sounds like eventually you're just going to get the Caro if you play it all, which I think is
you could go out and actively try hard to do that. That's fine, isn't it?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm blocking this for everybody. I'm talking about something you can't see, and I'm also in the wrong place. So how good am I? This thing. Right, so if you go, for those of you who are curious, like me, and don't know, go over to the clan button. Then you're going to go over here to tasks, which shows you the things you got to do, and then here's the progression of what you've got to do. There's an about button too, I guess, which describes a bunch of it. There you go. Personal contribution and progression for the clan. Shows the tasks and all that stuff. Yeah, Diablo says the Caro's pretty... that's one of the ones I would like. I'd love to get the Caro. You use it in Clan Wars, no kidding. So, that being said, here's the interesting thing, and maybe Diablo can shed some light on it. It sounds like there are people already complaining a little bit about the common folk being able to get a Caro in something other than Clan Wars. I only base that on the questions on this Q&A. I don't know if that's true because I don't do the Clan Wars stuff, but I don't know if Diablo has any more info on that. Super unicorns that have and do debate it, but not worth fighting over. Yeah, it's just curious. All right, so here's a question and answer. Almost completely useless. Almost completely useless. Oh, Diablo, are you mad that the plebs are going to get a Caro? Well, you're a red square, so I would expect that.
Well, of course, red squares have got something to say about stuff, you know. Yeah, red square, sir.
All right, question and answer. Can you do balance patches more often to shake up the meta and make bad tanks better? Answer: yes. Their actual answer. Well, I'm not going to get too crazy about the translation. Actually, right now, talking about that. Okay. Taking into account the amount of the tanks we got, it could be reasonable to do. Yet often changes might be too much. I think we will find the proper frequency. I guess 13 years hasn't been long enough to find that frequency.
Exactly. How long do you need? How to rewrite some code? How long do you need?
Longer than 13 years, apparently.
Obviously.
Yeah. That's... Oh, Diablo doesn't care. Okay. The VKK. So, come on. Seriously. They actually made a lot of noise about this in the fairly recent past. In the last 2 or 3 years, there was a huge feedback loop to them about not updating stuff.
Yeah.
Right? And then they kind of made a move, and they made a lot of claims about how they were going to do a lot of things. And then it's just been... Yeah. I will give them that it's been more than it was. But that is not a high bar.
No, it's not a high bar, and it smacks of the lack of enthusiasm to actually grip the problem.
Yeah.
Because they don't see it as a problem, I don't think. I think they just see it as, well, something we have to do for the player base. They're moaning.
Yeah.
You know?
So a non-answer, basically, and this is the theme, fellas. If you're expecting any actual real answers in this, they're few and far between. So question is that, will the D-Day map with the beach ever get reworked because the beach is actually just useless? Also, these questions are useless, but that's another subject. Yeah, great, D-Day. The real question is, are you going to work on maps? Well, they are, to some extent. I will give them that. This guy's got an issue with D-Day. There's no way to rework that.
No.
It's cliffs with a beach on the bottom. I don't know what you're going to do to make that better.
The only way
you're not.
to rework that is to make it like a D-Day landing. Is to have you on a ship and then debirth from the ship and get up the beach to the cliffs. That's the only way to change it.
Ooh,
And
man,
that would be fun.
they balanced the SP ones. They did do that, Patriot. That's true.
They did.
Oh, I'm going to allow that because the stupid thing tried to stop it because he spelled SP1C and it thinks he's trying to make a naughty
Yeah,
naughty
it's
word.
not a racial thing, yeah.
No, it's a damn designation for a damn tank. All right. So yeah, okay, D-Day. Thanks for sharing. We're constantly working on map rebalancing, but considering the amount of maps we got, it could take time to work on each of them. Okay, great. Non-answer. Non-answer.
Yeah.
Really, and the question's poorly worded. Hey, D-Day is a terrible design. Do you guys understand that?
Yeah.
That's what I would like to know. But anyway, will there be another amnesty action for locked accounts as the one back in 2020? Who cares? No unforeseen.
Why are
No,
people asking that question?
because there's going to be naughty boys who want their accounts back.
Yeah.
I don't care. Well, I don't care in two ways. A lot of those guys are probably banned for stuff I don't care about anyway, unless it was cheating or rigging. Which I don't care about that either, to be quite honest. I mean, I do. I'd love it not to happen, but at the same time, you rigged and cheated for some pixels. Okay, good for you.
Yeah.
This is
Well
a
done,
good
you.
question. I like this because it's something I watched happen and I have some information on. Have you considered asking your CCs to help with tank balancing? They play the game the most and they're good players. Some of them are very good players. Will make balancing tanks more effective and also much faster. That can be a debatable statement, but these are players that have some pretty good insight into the game. We do have sessions with community representatives and even CCs. That's interesting. With community representatives. So that's the quickie baby level. There's only a few of those. And even CCs who arguably some of the CCs are actually better than the CRs.
Yeah.
To discuss some changes from time to time and get early feedback. Some of it is under NDA, but they do also share some of these discussions. I will tell you from personal experience that this is A, underutilized, and B, when they do ask, they almost always ignore it. I'm just going to say that.
I think those sort of discussions are instigated to gauge the weight of the pushback. Irrespective of that, they will just continue with the way that they think the game should be operated.
That is a very prescient observation, and I would agree with that. It is almost holy to see how much pushback there's going to be, as you said, for things they're going to do. It is virtually never asking for advice on what to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, that's... Anyway, I'm just going to leave that there. That's something I personally have knowledge of. And that's the way I would assess that whole act. Not to say that you turn over your balancing in your game to the CCs because they're CCs, or to any segment of the player base. You certainly wouldn't want your worst players balancing, and you probably don't want just your best players balancing. But there's been way too many situations where CCs have made suggestions on things that were planned to be done
Yeah.
that were ignored and then immediately became a frickin' problem because it was ignored. There are multiple examples of that. And unfortunately, it generally has to do with the accounting department winning that argument,
Yeah.
period. So, and I will tell you this as well, that the CCs know it, and a significant number of them stopped giving feedback for that reason.
Yeah. Because, you know,
There's
that's
no
like a
point.
dead horse.
There's no point. You got they put a bunch of time into a video, or they I've seen actual write-ups where some of these guys get into serious detail on things, very well articulated arguments, warnings that if you do this, this is going to happen. Ignored virtually every time. So it's simply not worth it. People learn, right? If you waste my time too many times, I'm going to stop giving you my time.
Yeah.
So there you go. Again, not that CCs are the end all be all of knowing everything about the game. Nobody ever said that. It's just that the amount that they're ignored is well past the amount they should be ignored.
And also, what's the point in asking if you're not going to listen to what you're
Sure.
You know, what advice you... All right.
Well, what is the
I
point of
understand.
asking?
Yeah.
So
What's the point of asking?
what is it though from their standpoint?
Well,
If
from
you
their standpoint, we are engaging with the player base. That's what it is.
and then you can answer the question like this.
Yeah.
With plausible deniability. Oh yeah, we engage with the CCs on occasion and we talk about things and blah blah blah. Okay, true. And you ignore them. That's
Yeah.
I don't know what to, yeah, that's what happens. All right.
That'd be a far better answer, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, we do engage with the CCs and our community representatives, but we actually totally ignore everything they talk about.
So that I can answer the question when you ask me that yes, we do engage with them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly, Diablo. I mean, and you've seen it. Everyone's seen it. Some of us here have been involved in it, and it's anyway. There you go. That's what I got to say about that. Are there any plans to bring back some old removed maps? Some of them were really fine, like Westfield, Stalingrad. It was a little too flat. Yada yada. There are plans to rework majority of the maps, but it will take time. Non-answer.
Standard answer.
Non-answer. No details of any kind. No time frame. Nothing. Kiki Bug, let's take Mines and Ensk. So he gets into a question about Mines and Ensk, how they're small. Asks if they could make tier 8 matchmaking on them. I don't know, man. That's pretty far down on my list of things I worry about. I get it. Mines is really small for a high tier battle, but at the same time, that's kind of the point of Mines and Ensk. They're supposed to be close in knife fights. I don't see how it's any different on tier 7 on Mines or Ensk than tier 10.
What would be interesting if I might try this with the clan, is get a couple of tier 10s with maxed out visibility, maybe a couple of light tanks, and just see if you can see across the map. That'd be interesting. How far across that map can you see with a light tank that is completely maxed out, both crew and equipment?
Well, it's 500 meters and they're 800 meter tanks, so you can't quite 800 meter map, so you can't quite see
800 meter
across
map,
the whole
yeah,
thing, but you can
yeah.
see a lot of it, obviously.
You can't
And they're
just
small
spawn
map,
to
yeah.
spawn, can you?
Yeah. Neither one of them is really a light tank map, although I will say that Mines is well better than Ensk.
Yeah.
Although Ensk does have that little field. Ensk was actually expanded a little while ago. I don't know if you remember that. It was expanded once a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's definitely
Yeah,
just
it
about
was,
spawn to spawn. You can see into the other spawn for sure, Chubby. Not across the whole thing unless you scooch forward, but I think you can see from the edge of the spawn to the edge of the spawn. Challenging question. Maps like Mines and Ensk are somewhat unique in their own right. I would agree with that, given the diverse array. So again, it's not a problem I have an issue with, but I understand why people do. Are you going to ever give us new 30v30s? As of right now, no plans for more 30v30. So a dead mode, essentially, that they just left in there.
I actually, this is frustrating, Guido, because the Grand Battle, to be honest, I enjoy it more than the
Yeah.
battles, the normal maps. I really do. 30 versus 30 on the big
Yeah.
map.
I think
You
some.
have so much more opportunity to deploy, to engage, to withdraw, to move. A maneuver warfare on there, World of Tanks. I think those maps are far, far underrated. And
I think
really
it's something to do with performance, though.
How do you think?
Yeah, because I think there's plenty of people who turn it off because the performance is bad on it.
Okay.
The computers
So
can't
talk
handle
about-
it.
Yeah, it's obviously it takes a lot of power out of the computer.
But I agree with you. I like it. It doesn't bother me. I turned it on fairly recently, and I do enjoy it when I get it. Is it true that personal reserves in future become temporary, time limited? This is a good question. There are no plans to impose expiration dates on the existing ones. This was the big feedback when they did this, but they are going to release new ones that are time limited. So a lot of your new ones are going to be time limited. Your stockpiles you have they're going to remain to be whatever you use whenever you use it. But new ones are going to end up being time limited, guys.
So we should have the option just to use the new ones, shouldn't we?
Good question. Don't know.
Because it's automatic at the moment. You just click the button
Sure.
and away you go, don't you?
Yeah. So that'll be a great question. Will it be a separate button, or will it be prioritized to the ones that that expire, or will it be prioritized to the non-expired ones? Great question. No details on that, obviously, as of yet. Since the losing team receives less credit. So here's a push I hadn't heard much about, and I don't, again, remember we used to complain a lot. Well, we still complain, but people complain bitterly in the past that if you lost, you didn't get very much experience.
Yeah.
They made the one change with the Courageous Resistance where you could actually get the standard base for a win out of a loss if you did X, Y, and Z. Did really well.
Yeah.
This is talking about more experience for the top 3 to 5 players, 1 to 5, whatever, some number other than the one guy who might have got Courageous Resistance. So the top 3 in experience would get more XP out of it, or credits, or whatever. This is something that has happened in other modes, but this question is for the standard mode. I don't know. We wanted to avoid any exploits where people don't try, which is certainly a problem. And he does mention the Courageous Resistance mechanic. So I don't know. What do you guys think of that? I'm not that bothered by that, to be honest. They do.
I think, yeah, you've got to look at how. You've got to look at how much is losing affecting your playstyle. If you've got a run of loss, is it that big a deal that you like? I'm not playing this anymore because I can't get the right credits. I struggle to find I struggle really. Why it's such a problem? Why is Wargaming even bothered about it, or why is anybody asking that question? To be honest.
That's true, Diablo. Red squares do not often lose, so they don't have to worry about what us peons have to worry about. I mean, I will quit if I lose too many in a row, just because I don't enjoy that. I don't really necessarily consider now. That's easy for me to say on the one hand because I'm not grinding anything right now. I have everything unlocked. So
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
You see, you tend to forget that when you're sort of not doing the grind. Is that credits is important.
Like I would not be against them doing the top 3 or top 5 lost tanks get a little extra. Maybe the top 3, maybe the top 1, and then maybe declining 1, 2, 3. Because his point about botters, going into a game and getting extra credits, doesn't exactly apply because usually you're at the bottom anyway, right?
Yeah.
But if you limited it to the top 3 or 5, then you probably have to do something. It may not be a lot, but something to get that high, even on a loss.
Yeah. No, absolutely. Yeah.
Depending on the loss, obviously.
As Gunnar Schumann was saying there as well. Also, there's the your marks of excellence. Try to work towards that and ended up with nothing for the loss.
Well,
it's frustrating. I can see that.
Well, MOE is damage, though. That has nothing to do. That doesn't have anything to do with your experience.
But if you're doing damage, you've also gaining experience, aren't you?
Yeah, Onion Jack. Yeah, absolutely. It just slows down the grind, right? So
yeah,
I'm not necessarily against that. That would That's a comfort thing. Of course, it's just essentially ignored by the answer. Is there any compensation plan for players who have a... See, this is the standard thing with these guys when they do these Q&As. It's just... It goes back to what's the point? You know, that we were talking earlier about giving feedback. Well, there's questions here that are pretty valid questions. And if you're doing this right, if you have any idea what you're doing from a customer service standpoint or public-facing PR standpoint, the first thing you say about the question is, let me ask about that. Let me see if there's any more information on that. That's not a bad idea. Let me, I'll bring that to the back to the developers or whatever. But it's always these dismissive mansplains kind of thing. Not to get into that kind of stuff, but the whole, well, let me tell you how it is. You don't know what you're talking about. That kind of shit. So compensation, here's that question. Is there any compensation plan for players who have a Caro 45T in the next clan event? Now this may actually be, if I get it, this is probably, the real question here is probably if I get this out of, whatever that's called, the clan thing that's going to come up, tour of duty, will I get gold or credits or something? The answer to that should be yes. If you have the 45T and you get it, then you'll get credits. That's the answer. There should be no other... What? Why? What? To my knowledge, there is no compensation plan outside of standard compensation. Okay, well, never mind. Sorry, he did answer it. There you go. That's a weird way to say it. To my knowledge, there's no compensation plan outside of the standard compensation. So yes, okay.
Yeah.
Now, back to what I was saying. If you don't know, dude, you know what? I don't know the exact answer to that. Let me get back with you.
Yeah.
How hard is that?
Do you know what? It also depends very much on who's. There's two things with this. Is who's selecting the questions to answer and who's answering the questions. That's where you gotta look at.
Yeah, I don't know who this is from. It doesn't even actually say who it is. No idea. I'm assuming it's. Well, I can't assume. I was thinking maybe it was the Armored Patrol, but this could be some reprint from somewhere else. No idea.
You can imagine in Wargaming that what they've done is they've dragged the cleaner out of the cleaning closet and got him to answer the questions. I don't know. I'm just mopping up here. I just polished the wood. I don't know.
This is the Ensk question once again. He asked it twice for some reason in a different form. Is there some plan to bring esport back? He says no idea. At least that's an honest answer. He doesn't know. Competitive scene is evolving. I think there is a desire to bring back some form of organized. They've been messing around with different modes. So the answer is they have no idea. Which honestly I don't care about. Any plans to add Romanian tree like in Blitz? I did not know the Blitz had a Romanian tree, but he says no. You can check out this year's content in the roadmap highlights video. Okay, well, it wasn't there and we asked you the question, so thanks for that information.
Yeah.
Any plans to introduce multi-turret mechanism? Another thing I just don't care about. This has been a question for years. Tested it during the Halloween Leviathan event, and it was found most players found the mechanic difficult to manage, and it introduced technical issues for some players firing into buildings because they were focusing on the wrong turret.
Super, love that.
It's a new mechanic. People are going to have to figure it out. So it's just our clever design is too difficult for the common folk.
Exactly.
All right, so is it not a terribly clever design, or? Okay. Is there a chance these vehicles, the French Super Heavies, could make an appearance? This is all low tier stuff. I don't even know why it's such a bother, but whatever. Will there be new maps? New maps depends on how the testing goes and rebalance of others. There may not be entirely new maps, but reworks. So the answer there between the lines is no. There'll be no new maps.
No. They'll stick more random events in.
Well, they are working on a lot of maps. I will give them that. They've been constantly doing some new map stuff. Not new maps, sorry. Reworking map stuff. How about New Nations? New Nations is nothing we can share yet, nothing planned like those for the rest of the year. I think it's the 2 lines and that's it.
Yeah.
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 Yep. So there you go. Q&A.
Very interesting, but again, I come back to my original point: is who's selecting for this to be put out there? Who's putting it out there, and who selected the questions to answer?
Yeah.
Because there's probably a lot more pertinent questions that people have asked, but they've just ignored them and they put these in because they're easy to answer.
Well, I mean, you got to have somebody comes up with the questions. Again, I don't know where this comes from. There's no indication on this on who. Honestly, this could be wholly made up, and it's never happened as far as I know, because there's so little detail in exactly where this came from and whatever. So take all of that with a grain of salt. It is not. I would say it's not. It's not out of line with what we've heard from them in the past. So it's entirely believable.
It sounds very familiar, doesn't it?
Sure. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Be nice if they would.
I mean, for me, if you want to talk maps very quickly, for me, and I think we've discussed this, they need to open the maps up a lot more. Now, whether that takes more computing power or whatever it is to do, but things like destructibles, that everything should be destructible. There shouldn't be buildings that can't be knocked down, for example. And to stop this canalising, just make the maps open so you can travel anywhere without the mountain goating that you used to have, but travel anywhere. You know?
I don't know if they can really make everything destructible. I'm not sure that brings anything to the table gameplay wise, to be quite honest.
Okay.
I mean, I guess it would be kind of interesting if more stuff was destructible. But it's pretty integral to the game that some stuff is indestructible and you use it as cover. Use it as, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Piles of rubble and things
right.
like that.
I mean, sure, it's not realistic, but it's part of the gameplay. It doesn't bother me that much, to be honest. As far as open maps or channelized maps, I don't necessarily have a problem with either one. It's just whether you have too many of one or the other. Somebody brought up Outpost. Also, the other map that's exactly the same as the island one, the new island one, with the airfield. The middles of those two maps are completely useless.
Yeah.
Although at least in Outpost's case, there's a castle there that you can fight from.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
But the swampy bit.
You can get shots from both sides on that outpost, though.
Yeah, so it's got two sides of low ground that's almost completely useless.
Yeah.
Whereas not airfield, whatever the Japanese one, Japan port, I guess it's port.
Yeah.
It's got the airfield that's nearly completely useless.
Yeah, not even lights can get halfway up there without even getting the sun spotted. So yeah.
Yep, they look sort of open, but they aren't really.
No. Non-usable open.
Oh, I just got a tour of duty reward. Somebody must have just tripped it.
Nice.
Yeah, I got a training book for Sweden, a training book for Italy, more universal fragments, of which I now have 3,894.
Send some my way.
Holy cow. And some free XP crew.
Nicely done.
Not free XP, a booster for XP, for free XP and crew. And that's about it, man. I can hear my fam is up and around kicking. We're gonna get going on Easter here, fellas. Unless you got anything else to chuck in there, you probably need to get back to your little ones as well.
Yeah, I'm hearing tapping at the door. So
Perfect timing.
Some little people are tapping.
They need to see the bunny glasses. Got to come back out.
Yeah, they're like, Granddad.
Awesome. There are almost as many removed maps in the game. I know. That has been a subject in the past. Some of those were removed so long ago they probably haven't even bothered to update them into the new engine stuff that they've been doing.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. They could certainly start with some of those. The maps shouldn't be that hard, to be honest. But that's just my opinion. All right, guys. I'm gonna get off the internet here. Go hang out with the fam. Do some Easter stuff. Hop around like a bunny or whatever the hell we're gonna do.
I'll send these over for you.
All right, man. All right, Pilgrim. Thanks for coming along. Let's go raid somebody here. What do we got? this dumb thing.
Technical.
I just don't like the new setup with the raid thing. It makes no sense to me. So it throws me off because then I have to go open another tab and look at the regular Twitch page. It used to be so nice because it would immediately put up the people you generally raid if they happen to be up and around.
Yeah.
But it doesn't do that now. Let's see. Who we got? Nobody I know. Have we hit any good ones lately, fellas? Anybody found any new? We tend to hit new people, but I don't know if we've found any good ones lately. Nope, that's a rerun. I don't want to go make you watch a rerun. Not many people up. Looks like most people are doing the Easter thing today.
Oh, I think, yeah, probably later on today there'll be people on.
Yeah.
I think now.
Iulia slays. All right, we'll go raid Iulia. Apparently she slays.
Yeah, let's see what that happens.
Yeah. All right, guys. Appreciate everybody coming by. Looks like she's playing Onslaught or something. That is all I've got from the left side Atlantic. Squeedo signing off.
Pilgrim signing off from the correct side of the Atlantic, sir.
All right, guys. Later.